Okay, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Good morning, good evening, either or. I don't even know where to start. But this video is a longer video than what my previous videos have been. Just in a sense of I want to give you as much information as I can to help you understand where I am now and how we got here, to be honest. Because there's a lot of things that are attributed to this part in my life and this stage in my awakening, I suppose. And it hasn't been an easy journey, I'll tell you. It's been challenging. It's had its moments where I've just been like, what the actual is going on? But, hello dragonfly. It's literally just hovering in front of me. And I don't know what parts of this will help you and what won't. But grab a cup of tea or a coffee, whatever suits. Have a seat. And strap in, I guess. All right. So, I guess my childhood was pretty standard, I suppose. Primary school, high school. I went to an all-girls school in Melbourne, Australia, which was an experience in itself, but a good one. And then I finished school and left and went into hospitality for work. That was the main industry that I've worked in over the course of my life. And it's hard, to be fair. Every job's hard, what can I say? But hospitality is serving others even when you don't want to, literally serving. And I worked in that industry for about from the age of 15 to 28. My first ever job was at a roller skating centre, which is great. I loved it. It was my favourite job of all time. Out of all the jobs I've worked in my life, roller skating was best. And then I finished up there and went and worked at Crown when I was 18. And Crown was an experience. It was okay. It wasn't by any means bad, but it had its shadows, I'll tell you. And from that, whilst I was in that job, I also got really sick with endometriosis. And that kind of, it's safe to say that dictated my life for a period. I would say maybe 6 or 7 years. Dictated my health, my mental health, the way I lived my life. Yeah, everything. And I think realistically, endometriosis has been it played such a big part in my life for many reasons, in terms of, the mental, the emotional, the physical, all of it. There was a really big catalyst for me. Anyone that knows me knows that I went through it with endo. I went through it in multiple different ways. I had 5 surgeries in 4 years, saw countless specialists, countless doctors. I did 2 rounds of IVF back to back to preserve any egg count that I had, and any fertility that was remaining. And after that, it was just a constant ring of chronic pain. I was, in chronic pain majority of the time, majority of my days. There'd be generally 1 week a month that I wouldn't experience too much pain, but majority of my days I was either mostly in bed or not living because I was expecting to be in pain. And when you live like that, it doesn't become very fun, to be honest. So that was my endo years, I suppose. And then in 2021, yeah, 2021 presented me with an opportunity to come off all my medication. And I chose to do that. And the opportunity that presented itself was one that meant that I would come off my heaviest dose first. So I was on a heavy painkiller, very heavy painkiller, 250 milligrams every 12 hours, which is quite a lot. And I decided it wasn't for me anymore and was like, well, if there's going to be a time, I got to do it now. And I could feel an energy coming up within my body that was like, hey, this ain't it. You don't want to live your life like this for the rest of your life. Something's got to change. So I listened to that little voice and started to wean off all of my medication. I was on nerve blockers, I was on contraceptive, I was on painkillers, and then like on top of a large painkiller, I was on more painkillers on top of that. So a lot of I don't want to say chemicals, but I want to say a lot of chemicals have had infiltrated my body at that point. I'd had ketamine infusions, I'd had, you name it, I'd had it, honestly. I'd tried fentanyl patches, endone, all of it. But I then decided that if I was going to come off everything, I needed assistance in doing that. So I turned to plant medicine, and plant medicine was a large change in my life. I used the plant medicine to transition from the medical Western world into a more healthy and conscious way of living, but also within my body too. So I used plant medicine to stop the painkillers, stop the withdrawal symptoms that would naturally happening, and then so plant medicine was a very big turning point for me. So much so that I actually started working in the industry. So I back in, would have been 4 years ago now. So that happened 5 years ago, the transition from Western medicine and me taking Western medicine to plant medicine and holistic medicine happened 4 years ago. And I also started working in the industry 4 years ago because I saw the potential for the change it could make in other people's lives because of how it changed my life. And yeah, I then decided I was going to start using plant medicine often, and I did, and it served me for a period. I think I used it daily for about 1.5 years, I would say. Now not so much, but here and there. And yeah, it really was a catalyst for not only my own evolution, but more a way of me giving myself a life that actually had more sustenance to it. Honestly, I wanted more from life and I wasn't getting it. And in a way, plant medicine has helped me understand what I can have and the feelings I can evoke within my body and the energy I can feel within my body. And I'm extremely grateful for what it's been able to teach me in the last 4 years and even what it teaches me today. So yeah, so I still currently work in the industry. I've actually resigned from my job because I'm at a point now, like I was when I transitioned from Western medicine to medicinal cannabis. I am at a point now where I'm ready to transition from plant medicine to energy medicine, and I've been in that spot and learning that for the last 4 years as I've gone on this journey with plant medicine, but also I've been doing it side by side and really loving the energy medicine side of it. I don't really use a lot of plant medicine anymore. It has its moments in my life where I know it can give me positive, there's positive aspects to it that come to me from that, but it's more so, I use plant medicine now for when I want to call in a higher energy for myself. I don't use it anymore for pain relief or for just social aspects of it. I don't. I use it for calling in higher energies for myself. And when I call in those higher energies and use plant medicine, and then soak them into my energy field and embody them, because it gives me an understanding of what they feel like. So that's why I use plant medicine today. But yeah, it's a lot on plant medicine, soz. But the way I see our world moving is into energy medicine, in the sense of everything, literally, from healing physical pain to healing mental trauma to healing basically anything in your life, in all honesty. I have found myself in the greatest parts of my healing turning to energy medicine more than I do anything else, because it heals on a cellular level that obviously plant medicine doesn't, and neither does Western medicine. And I guess it's another reason why I find it so I guess groundbreaking for me. Like, I've really found myself in places where I didn't think, I have a vivid memory of myself walking in my old home, and my back was really sore at the time. And when I say it was really sore, I had shooting pain down the back of my legs, and I thought to myself, I'm never going to walk properly again. And I remember thinking to myself, there was a little I want to say angel, a little angel inside myself that said to me, no, we're not doing this. And I think I remember that here, because I, at that point, was like, you're right, I'm not doing this. And from there, most of my awakening actually started. And that was back in 2021. And yeah, it's a lot. Your awakening is a lot. So from that point, I started unpacking my life. And I remember I started acupuncture at the time. And I went and I saw an acupuncturist, and it was the first session I'd ever had. And she laid me on the table and she stuck all of the pins in me and then walked out the room, and I just laid there and tried to meditate a little bit. And I did, and I had a vision of, you know, those, if you go to, what's it called, Time Zone, there's those big wheels, it's not a wheel of fortune. Is it a wheel of fortune? Maybe it is. Anyway, you pull up the lever and you slam it down and the wheel spins, yeah? Anyway, I had a vision of that, but it was all manila folders, all just like paper folders, and they were all spinning, and my guides were like, it's time to unpack every folder. And I was like, and I remember getting in the car after that session, and I thought to myself, what just happened? Because at that point I was like, I'm trying everything here, what's going on? And then it made more sense as time went on. So from that point, I started unpacking every piece of physical pain I had in my body, from my back pain to my chronic pain in my stomach to the mental pain that I had emotionally to just everything. And obviously coming off the meds or the Western medicine clears a part of your brain that is no longer numb, if I'm honest. And it clears, there's like a layer of film when you take Western medicine. I don't know if anyone's experienced it, but I did. When you take Western medicine for a period of time, there's a film. It's like when you take an antidepressant, it causes a film within your brain or within your perception of life. And once I removed that, I could see everything really clearly. And clearly enough for me to reach out and grab aspects of life and be like, okay, what are you teaching me? And what do I need to look at here deeper, on a deeper level, so that I don't have to keep looking at it over and over again in a way that was actually tolerable and easy enough to integrate into my life. So that was fun. That was really fun. And I spent 4 years doing that. I saw my lovely kinesiologist. I've seen her, well, I don't know if it's been 4 years now. Maybe it's 3. I think it's been 3 years that I've been seeing her. And I see her less often now because I am better at dealing with my own shit, so to speak. But she has been absolutely a guiding light in me being able to look at myself holistically and really not pick apart, but like just look at myself holistically and be like, okay, that's showing up for me. Let's move through. Because one, there's no shame, right? I have no shame. I used to, don't get me wrong, did, but not anymore. Because at the end of the day, I am who I am and you are who you are. And if you've come to this earth with the light in you that you know you have, there is no need to hide that. Because, oh God, I could go on, but you incarnated for a reason. That's all I'll say, in all honesty. And then, yeah, so over the last 3 years, it's been a constant healing cycle, to be honest. And it wasn't me trying to, look for the healing. It was more so me living through the healing. And what I mean by that is I was actively living my life and doing and moving through things that I thought were what I was meant to do. And from there, things would come up and I would be like, okay, let's go. Let's deal. And then it got harder and harder because bigger and more challenging aspects of things that I didn't want to face were coming up. And I was like, this isn't fun anymore. And then 2025 happened. And 2025 was a really big year for me. Not only within my career, but as a human. I think to date, it was probably the most transformative year that I've had. I changed on a number of levels. And just watching the eagle, sorry. And I was finding myself stepping into new versions of me weekly, literally. And it was challenging. Like, to constantly step into new versions of yourself, you have to be letting go actively all the time. And it's not always easy to let go, to be honest. Like, I wanted to let go over and over again because I saw, every time I was able to let go, I saw the next version come through and I was like, oh, I like her. And then I did it again and I was like, oh, I like her. And every time I seemed to let go and step into a new version, I brought a piece of myself home. And I guess that's why I kind of kept at it. And my body just wanted to constantly evolve through that. And I found myself really in a deep state of awareness most days, just allowing whatever came up in my body to come through. Because when we hold energy within our bodies and let it lay dormant, or you feel something, you think someone's going to think I'm weird, yeah, or someone's going to be like, oh, what the fuck's going on there? Bring it up. Who cares? No one's looking at you being like, oh, why did she do that? It's not the case. It's like, it's so true when they say that people aren't ever thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. It's so true. So true. Which is another reason why I think I was able to let go so much last year and just naturally be myself. And I guess part of all of that was me looking at myself and being like, I'm not ashamed of her. Like, I'm not ashamed of the person that sits in front of you right now. And I'm not ashamed of where I've been and how I got here or in anything, because at the end of the day, it's my story. And I know that what I've been through has only amalgamated to the period in my life that I'm at now and where I'm headed. And I guess part of that year, 2025, and the transformation that I experienced, I guess it really changed me on a foundational level. And like, as you can see, I've literally just started a YouTube channel. It's nothing special, but it's my experience. And if you're going through transformational change yourself and need someone else that's been through it just to voice what happened, by all means, that's exactly what I'm here to do. So I can't wait to step into the reality that I've created for myself now, and that I am creating for myself. I'm actively creating the life that I want and actively drawing it in. Like, I see the visual path for myself, and I know where I'm headed and what it looks like and what it feels like. What it feels like is unreal. Don't even get me started. But what it looks like is a life that enables me to give back to people in the way that the world's given to me, and at a level that really helps people, not just, oh yeah, you'll be right, but in a way that really is enabling, in the sense of being able to bring through your higher self, or the highest part of you, that only knows truth and only knows remembering and only knows love, and integrate that into your reality. Because that was a real big pinnacle for me in probably the last, this is real current actually, probably the last 2.5, 3 months. My journey's been really about remembering who I am, and remembering why I came here, and remembering what my actual job here is. Because as much as we throw ourselves into a job, 9 to 5 or shift work, whatever you do, we actually have a job here on earth that isn't that. A majority of us are here to serve, and I am here to serve, and I know that, which has led me to where I am now, and why I have removed myself from my 9 to 5 and I know that's not where I'm meant to be for the moment, which is so fine. But I'm heading into a more service-filled aspect of my life now, which is really exciting, but also daunting and scary and all the things. But overall, it's really exciting, and I hope you're here to follow along, and I'm really excited to share all of that. And I think maybe now I'll mention it. I guess I have dreamt of this for a really long time. And I have been reflecting on it probably the last few weeks, I suppose, as I've launched it. I have always had this ability to lead people in a way that brings through the best for them and helps them see what's naturally there for them, in the sense of their own capability and their own capacity to hold themselves. I do it with my friends. I do it with family. I have the ability to really call in aspects of you that need to be fostered so that you can bring through the best in yourself. And that's what I'm here to do, and I know that. And part of that is what you'll see on my Instagram. So I have launched a business called Inner Alignment. And from there I'll be doing readings and a little bit of art, because art really lights me up. The readings are a way for us, or for you mostly, to connect with your higher path, I suppose. We all live in a life where the 3D can get so heavy and dense that you can't see what's actually truly here for you. And a remembering of that always shines through, but we sometimes just can't see it. So what my job here is to guide you through that process of looking at the quieter voice within you that's being like, hey, I'm here, chat to me. Or that's reminding you to do things, or those little constant thoughts that you have over and over again that you actually just don't actualize. I am here to serve in the sense of bringing that through for you and helping you actualize it into your reality, because that's what I'm doing right now. So that is my inner alignment, and it's also yours now. But yeah, I'm really excited to share that with the world and see where it takes me, because it feels really, really great. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Sun's come out just at the end of the video, which is divine, as always. And I'm going to go and enjoy where I am right now. My favourite place in the world. And I'll be in touch soon, because, well, I'm always in touch, but you know what I mean. I'll be back here soon, chatting to you and taking you through the next part of my experience, because the next part of my experience it's actually unknown to me right now. It's unknown, but in terms of it's unknown in terms of the exact path that I'm taking. I know where I'm headed and the end result of that, but how we get there is all very unknown right now, and I'm allowing the universe to drive the car. So follow along. It'll be interesting. It'll be scary, but I've committed to sharing the entire thing with you, so I suppose I'm here for your entertainment. But anyway, I'll chat to you soon. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the sun. And big love.